when you stop caring so much, results come. What does that mean exactly? Let's chat about it. Peace, and as always, cheers, folks. Coach Mark Mahalovic. So, per the introduction today, we're going to be talking about caring too much and how that can lead to the person you're currently in a relationship or wanting to date, or maybe it's your wife after years and years of being together. Why caring too much can be a bad thing, and you have to find that fine line of caring too much versus knowing when to kind of step away. So if that sounds good to you, please don't forget to like and subscribe on the button down below if you enjoy the content. And without further ado, let's talk about it. So, caring too much. Now, it goes back to the age-old principle of scarcity, right? So we've talked a lot about water versus a diamond when it comes to scarcity, right? Water is not a scarce resource, hence it's less desirable, even though it's needed for life, versus a diamond, right? Much more scarce, much more valuable, right? The same thing goes with the emotions and the effort that you give into your relationship. Now, this video is not about not showing your woman that you love her. It's not about not doing something nice for her. It's not about not taking her on dates, buying her flowers. It's not about that. But what it is about you doing too much, too often or too soon, right? And how that loses its value, right? So that's the key point here is think of value and scarcity. Because if you give too much, too often, too soon, it's like water versus a diamond. You're becoming water when you once were a diamond, right? So everything that you do is no longer, it doesn't create that spark, it doesn't create that feeling, that energy anymore. It's not special anymore, right? Flowers on the first date or two are probably make her feel really good. Like, oh, he's a good guy, cares a lot. After the 10th, 12th date, it's okay, she'll take him and just throw him, right? It's not special anymore. So when it comes to your dating life, you have to be able to be intuitive enough to be able to find that line, right? Everyone has it, right? Everyone, and you can figure this stuff out and figure out those data points as you're dating the person you're with right now as to what's too much versus what's not enough, because they'll typically, the woman you're with will indirectly communicate with you if you're not doing enough or if you're doing too much, right? If you're not doing enough, usually kind of flat out tell you, hey, you're not texting me enough, you're not calling me enough, or why don't you do nice things for me type of deal. Kind of a good sign that you probably should step up your game a little bit, versus if you're doing too much of those nice things, the typical response is not going to be telling you anything. It's just going to be she's going to pull away, and you're going to wonder, sit there scratching your head thinking, well, what the hell? I bought her flowers, I've done all this nice stuff for her, but now I barely hear from her anymore. It's not that she doesn't like you anymore, but it's her internal way of kind of resetting the relationship to help you fix things, right? Because you're doing too much. So think about it when it comes to, if you're a guy with a big heart and you care a lot, you love a lot, don't change that. That's a great thing to have, but you have to be able to dial that switch back a little bit, right? You have to be able to dial it back sometimes and know when to give the person you're with, to give them a little bit of space, or to kind of bring your caring back a little bit, because at the end of the day, you want your energy to be valuable. You want your time to be valuable. And if you just keep giving it away, it's not going to mean anything anymore to the other person. No matter what you think that they think about you over time, right? It's not going to mean anything to them if you just keep giving it away over and over again. Like it's just, Jesus throwing out buckets of fish constantly. Weird analogy, I know, but you get my drift, right? So if right now you're noticing some rough patterns in your relationship, and you look back and you're thinking to yourself, well, what the hell? I've been this great guy. I've been super nice. I've been there for her. I've answered every phone call. I've done this, and this over and over again for the last months and years, and I don't feel like there's not doing anything for me anymore. There's no spark between us. There's no polarity, essentially, right? There's no tension in the relationship anymore. You're starting to feel that. Take a step back and think about, I've been giving my time away too much to this person. They're no longer valuing it, so they're taking a step back. Again, this doesn't mean the end of anything. It's just a reset, right? So if you're recognizing there's some awkwardness going on, it's totally good. So you yourself need to match and mirror the behavior, take a step back, and then make your time more valuable. How do you do that? you don't answer every phone call. You're not doing it as a tactic, but you're doing it because you're getting busy focusing back on yourself again, right? Because again, women aren't going to respect you if you don't respect yourself, if you don't respect your time and you go for what you want to go for. If your mindset and your energy is solely centered around them all the time, they will lose respect for you 100%, and eventually they will dump you. It's guaranteed to happen as the sun rising in the east, setting in the west, right? So to maintain that balance, you need to be able to refocus back on yourself. If you do slip, which you're human, it happens, that happens to everybody. Refocus back on yourself and your purpose and your passion in your life. And when you do that, you'll kind of feel that energy naturally shift again to where, and she'll feel it too, to where now since you're focused on yourself, you're not giving so much of yourself away all the time for free without her having to work for anything. Because when people have to work for something, it's more valuable, right? So if you put the focus back on yourself and your life, you'll be less available. You won't be able to talk as much, right? The time with you will be more valuable because you'll be busy doing your own stuff. And then when you start doing that after days and weeks on end, all of a sudden that spark kind of starts to reignite again. You're creating tension naturally, right? So this isn't some manipulatory tactic. It's you refocusing on your life, what matters to you. And when you do that again, you'll naturally create polarity and create tension, which is what women want. They want to feel that with you, right? That's what they base everything on, is how they feel, okay? So it's a simple fix. If you feel like you've done too much over the past weeks or months or years, you've been giving all of your energy, your time away, and you're working all these extra hours to make it work, and that's all good stuff. It is, but you have to be able to recognize we need to turn the dial back a little bit and adapt a little bit, right? Pull back yourself, refocus on your life so she can also focus on hers, and you guys can come together, have a little tension and polarity, and create that relationship that you want. If all of your energy is going towards her 24/7, 365, she's not going to respect you, and you're not going to respect yourself, and you're going to become resentful, and you're going to get pissed off at yourself. Trust me, I've been there, I know. So don't do that. Keep the focus on you. When your woman starts complaining you're not paying enough attention to her, that's a good thing. Put the focus back on her, get some dates going, make sure she feels loved, cared for, understood, all those things. And keep doing that stuff over and over again and keep paying attention. If you can do that consistently, you're going to have a good, long-term, healthy relationship. Sound good? As always, folks, I do these videos hopefully just to help you recalibrate, rethink, and recognize if you are doing something, you're exhibiting some kind of pattern, you can recognize it and stop it and make that shift if you need to make sure that your relationship keeps going in the right direction that you want. At the end of the day, folks, again, hope it's beneficial, and just remember, you gotta believe. Until next time, peace.